gentlemen, stay tuned for the Love Chapters Earth open call. Brought to you by the founder of Love Chapters Earth, Trinity Clark, and her Love Earth team. You are about to hear information that will transform your life and the lives of those in your family and communities. Love Chapters is an ecclesiastical non-registered church body that operates through its offices as a corporation sole. It is not a 501c3. This distinction gives Love Chapters the ability to create its own constitution and bylaws to govern the officers of Love Chapters, ensuring that the vision and goal of Love Chapters is accomplished without outside influences. Here's the founder and overseer of Love Chapters Earth, Trinity Clark.
Well, thank you, Maestro Rick. The date is September 16th in the year of our Lord 2014. The time is 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Alaska, and 3 p.m. Hawaii. Let's begin this evening's prayer for the open call with a request. I prayerfully ask of you, Heavenly Father, that the Love Team will deliver to those on or listening to the recorded call the message of intent of Love Chapter offices and the urgency of getting them into the communities. Through you, we seek the leaders that will lead the communities fearlessly against the evils covertly presented in the darkness. I thankfully acknowledge the guidance you provide each step of the way. I ask for continued guidance through Jesus Christ. Amen. Okay. We will have Rick Hidalgo's weekly news spotlight, as well as any updates or topics pertaining to Love Chapters Earth Church or affiliate churches as corporation souls. Tim Beulah will present an educational piece pertaining to the water we drink and healing the structure of. Ruth will chime in with a health segment and maybe the role this knowledge plays in the community's sustainability and disaster preparedness of Love Chapter's office locations. Anthony will give a nugget on goal setting. Goal setting. That's a G-O-A-L. I evidently don't like to say that word very well. Anthony will give a nugget on goal setting, and that is for kids on the edge of excellence. But, whatever is for kids on the edge of excellence is actually for all of us. So, that is the quick synopsis of our call highlights. My message is about change and discerning when to implement it. I remember a governmental candidate using the word change as the pivot point of their campaign. I think it was a brilliant word to use on his part, because when we hear the word change, we assume it is always change for the better. So we kind of see all things wrong around us and put an X through them, because all that is wrong and has been wrong will change. Change is a word of hope based on the receiver's vision of what needs to be changed. Well, as it turned out, the word change won the office and we got change. It just wasn't what most of us envisioned. The word change by itself, without explanation, is little more than assume. And we know what that breaks down to. I won't say it right now, but anyway, we know what it breaks down to. However, when change is described, there is no assuming undertone of hope misplaced. Okay, with that said, I'm going to inform you about a change. My opening portion of the weekly call will be much shorter and will be content on Love Chapter's propagation and personal growth strategies as they apply to a Love Chapter office or officers. I may chime in at the end of what Anthony brings to the call for kids on the edge of excellence, because children seem to be my heartthrob. So, why the change? Well, for one, I think our calls are too long by at least 20 to 30 minutes. And 20 minutes has been about the length of time I've been speaking. I cover a lot of territory in 20 minutes. But what good is it if you only remember a small portion of it? It's better to give the information over a number of calls versus all at once. So, for this week, I want to talk about you. Something about love chapters intrigues you enough to either listen to the calls or keep in contact with Rick Hidalgo or I via phone or email, or enough to have some of you claim yourself as a state founder. Here's that word again, change. Change that love chapter offices offer each community of locale is a very feel-good change. Thus, for the ones that have come forward to become state founders, have a personal vision or mission mapped out within their mind, but lacking the funded needed to facilitate it. They seem to completely understand that change a love chapter office will offer the communities of their state the vision of the love chapter's mission. However, it seems when the funding protocol for the personal monies in support of their mission, as well as individual community love chapter offices around their state, needs to be executed by team members using the Pod Magic system, well, that's when the ball gets dropped. Everyone wants to see someone else do it first. Others question to whether it actually works, claiming it's theory until proven. Well, the Pod Magic system is an exact science of numbers, divinely given. Until this week, I didn't really understand how special they were, beyond the Pod Magic system, until my daughter helped me align the numbers given in spiritual geometry. When the second and third intersecting dots were connected, it showed a Star of David, which I ironically had designed for David House many, many years ago, down to the number of classrooms, floors in the structures, community room, and more. Spiritual geometry is all things created. So what does spiritual geometry and love chapters have to do with one another? Well, spiritual geometry is a picture of life expansion, showing that we are all things connected. So we and all things are truly connected by intersecting points. And that is exactly what Love Chapters is. As a people helping people, consciousness of life as becoming the change we seek in the world. Oh, did I repeat that? Sorry. So, why the ball gets dropped is still a pretty valid question. An individual whose confidence of themselves isn't strong enough, the dream or vision isn't big enough, or valid enough to be worth their effort, or they are not willing to step outside the traditional box and become an innovative leader for fear of what those inside the box might utter, could be part of the ball dropping. It might go along with the acronyms of why. WHY. Why haven't you? Why haven't you begun? Why haven't you tried? Why haven't you cared? Or why haven't you done something? It might have been the acronym FEAR, for false evidence appearing real, or forget everything and run. I don't have the answer, because the answer lies with you. You are the ones that can bring change to your state, not the Love Earth USA team. But you have to want to change. You have to want to make a difference. You have to hold the vision of love or your personal mission close to heart, your core, and see it in perfection through your mind's eye. Eventually, You will become part of the consciousness for positive change. People helping people takes people that can see the goal of this humanitarian outreach project of love. It isn't for everyone. It's just for who it's for. We have many onlookers, and that's okay, because we have cookies and cream for each. Take a gander at spiritual geometry online, and then think of love chapters and the pod magic system. It should be awakening. If you can understand spiritual geometry, you begin to understand energy, vibrations, and more about the God of creation. If vibrations can change the structure and clarity of water from cloudy and toxic to clear and pure, don't you have to ask yourself the hard questions about the structure of the water in your body and what energy vibration you are putting out to the world? I don't want anyone to answer that. I just want you to think about those things. And then think what the word change means to you. So with that, I will yield the floor to Rick and the weekly news. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. This is Rick Hidalgo, and this is Love Chapters Earth News. And tonight's segment is going to be a little political in nature. However, it focuses on the true root issue, and that is we the people. It turns out that a group of people who have come together to study and to understand the law form that we were given by our founding fathers have come together and written a booklet. That booklet is called Who Are We? It's a guide for the citizens of the sovereign people of the United States of America. And tonight, we'd like to explain to you why it's something that you need several copies of to pass out to your friends and your family. It turns out that the United States of America is not a democracy, but it is a republic. It is a republican form of government, guaranteed in Article 4, Section 4 of the United States Constitution. Tonight, we'd like to offer you the opportunity to order as many of those booklets as you'd like to pass out to your friends and family across your particular region of the country. This booklet handles very difficult questions in a very simple way by explaining to us who we really are, who we really were supposed to be as Americans, what the Declaration of Independence separated us from, what it ultimately made us, and what it was that the Constitution of the United States of America ultimately was and is today. It also explains in very much detail what the role of we the people really is. And in order to get a copy of this, I'd like to introduce you to a particular email. So if you have a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, I'd like to give you this email. If you'd like some copies of the book, please write to Civil Authority, that's all one word, Civil Authority at unseen.is. That's Civil Authority at symbol unseen.is. That's IS. We are asking for a donation of 50 cents per booklet if you're able to do so, but we are not requiring it. So please email us today and order the number of books that you feel that you can disperse in your particular region of the country. We are calling forward the true patriots of America to step forward and receive the booklets and to get the word out to the people around them that the restoration process, the restoration of the Republican form of government is indeed underway, as we are beginning to educate we the people on who they are, what they are, and how to live. With this, I thank you for listening to tonight's news segment. Good night, and God bless. I now yield the floor to Tim Bueller.
Yeah, thank you, Trinity. Thank you, Rick. Just to read a quote that I just run across to go along with your deal, Rick, a little bit, is one of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. And this was a quote from Plato, which I thought was really kind of interesting. It's been a long time ago that he said that, and it's still true today. Back to structured water. I'd like to do, was doing a little more research on this, and I'd like to just go through a little bit more on this. Structured water is balanced, helps to improve health, cleans the memory of water. And the memory of water is really kind of amazing to me, that water can maintain a memory. So I'd like you just to remember this for later on in here. Helps to eliminate toxins in your body, increase the biophotonic energy in water, helps to eliminate anaerobic bacteria, which is bad bacteria, strengthens the aerobic bacteria, which is a good bacteria. It's softer water, hydrates your plants and gardens with less water, refreshes showers and baths, helps prevent bathtub scum, helps improve skin and hair, helps prevent dry, itchy skin, holds anti-aging properties, helps joint and muscle pain, grows greener lawns with less fertilizer, reduces less chlorine in swimming pools, reduces odor around and in bathroom and toilets, removes existing calcium deposits, prevents and removes corrosion, and increases the lifespan of pipes, water heater, dishwashers, swamp coolers, water heating systems, ice makers, etc. Improves the ability of plants to withstand lower freezing temperatures. That was just really kind of interested me there. Provides cleaner, healthier fish tanks. Less algae grows in ponds and lakes. Helps improves the health of livestock and pets. Improves crops and garden growth. Biomass by 40%. Will truly hydrate you. The science of structured water. It goes into the cycle of water. Structured water might be thought of as purified mountain water. It is helpful to understand that water cycle. Fresh water begins in the ocean. As the water evaporates, the water rises into the atmosphere. If it were not for the dust particles in the air, the water molecules would not fall back as rain. A molecule of water attaches itself to the dust particles, which in turn gathers more and more molecules until it gets heavy enough to fall to the earth in the form of rain. Today, because of industrial pollution, sulfuric acid, and other contaminants, rain returns to the earth as acid rain. This contaminated water enters our forests, rivers, lakes. Other chemicals are introduced, such as chlorine. A structured water unit restructures the water just as a mountain stream restructures the water in a river as it flows through gravel, rock, and underground. The water that falls to the earth as acid rain is clearly, cleansed naturally in the process. salt, heavy minerals, and other contaminants are deposited in the good earth. Our forests and lakes are contaminated in the process. This is the very reason beer makers and natural bottled water marketers claim to use spring water as selling their products. Scientists' overview on structured water. Until recently, the science of structured water has mostly been overlooked by Western science, but a number of prominent scientists are now stating that water has properties still to be widely recognized and understood. All living organisms contain structured water. Water inside our body cells is structured water. The water preferred by human cells is structured into small clusters containing 5 or 20 molecules. What is good, healthy water? It must be fit to drink and be free of pathogens and pollutants. Municipal water in most cities is treated to make it safe to drink. The treatment, normally chlorine, kills most diseases causing bacteria. That's a good thing. However, many people consider the level of chlorine in water to be a pollutant and it tastes bad. There is a big business in chlorine removing filters. It seems to have taken the lesser of two evils in disinfecting of our water. The treatment eliminates the threat of bacteria contaminants, but does not make healthier water. Structured water. What is structured water? Water molecules are attached or loosely attached to each other through hydrogen bonds. In normal water structure, this attraction makes water clusters together in large assemblies of water. These clusters have size and shape. Both their size and shape can affect biological organisms. The water molecules, made up of 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen atom, is what most of us think of as water. The true picture is a little more complex. These molecules appear to be very gregarious. They like to get together and are seldom found alone. They will cluster in groups of 5 molecules to over 600 molecules. These groups are not static. Water molecules will switch from one group to another very easily, and do so often. Hydrogen bonds are being made and broken several times a nanosecond. This creates an unimaginable dynamic energy environment of water. It is the size and shape of these clusters of molecules in their never-ceasing interaction that is the structure of water. If water can retain the memory of the pollutants and the memory can survive standard filtration and chlorine treatment, what information are we giving to our body? That's why I wanted to remember water through pollutants can has a memory of that pollutant and also of negative energy. In 1991, physicist Dr. Wolfgang Ludwig documented that water has memory and can store frequencies and transfers coherent information to living organisms. Environmental medicine. This finding has since been documented many times. Rustum Roy at the International Academy of Science, professor of Pennsylvania State University, reported that modern instruments have made it possible to record the fact that within each of the water memory cells there are 440,000 information panels, each of which is responsible for its own type of interaction with the environment. In the pollutant environment, rainwater falls through the air and is mixed with harmful gases and environmental pollutants. Most water purification methods fail to erase the memory or imprint of these toxins in water and restore water dynamic crystalline resonance. Dr. Gerald Pollack at the University of Washington, professor of bioengineering, has developed a theory of water that has been called revolutionary. Dr. Pollack discovered a new phase of water he calls the fourth phase of water. Bulk water is H2O. But this new phase of water, the exclusion zone, structured water, is H3O. It's a newly discovered phase of water. If you count the number of hydrogens and oxygens you find out, it's not H2O. The reason this fourth phase of water is called the exclusion zone, or EZ, is because the first thing Dr. Pollack's team discovered is that it profoundly excluding things. Even small molecules are excluded from structured water. Surprisingly, structured water appears in great abundance, including inside most of our cells. Even the exscalipar tissue are filled with this type of water. Research are also finding that cells absorb structured water better than unstructured water. A person drinking unstructured water can still be dehydrated because the water molecules that have not been structured are much too big for cell absorption. Peter C. Agra, a 2003 Nobel Prize winning biologist, discovered that hydration is linked to the aquaportin channel in the cells, which can only receive one water molecule at a time. The natural action structured water unit has the ability to break water clusters down to one molecule, allowing for better hydration for human and animal and plants. Structuring creates molecule clusters of 5 to 20 instead of hundreds of thousands found in unstructured water. The smaller number made is easier for the water to align itself into a single file needed to enter the cell. That's why hydration is increased with structured water. And I'll leave off there, but I'd just like to state that it looks like, just unstructured water, the molecules are way too big for the body or the cell to be able to absorb. So it looks like we need to get them molecules broke down, or the clusters broke down smaller, so we can get them absorbed into the cell. So I'll leave it there, and I thank you very much. Turn her back to Trinity, or to Rick.
Thank you, Tam. That was very good. And I don't know if I'm crossing paths on you, but is not water structure also changed by megahertz? I think it's megahertz or something of like music or sound waves. Is not the water structure changed by that?
There. Sorry, Rick, or somebody muted me. I believe that's true, Trinity, that you can do it through, it's the cellular structure can be changed by sound or energy.
Which really has a lot to do with that sacred geometry that I was talking about also, because that has to do with the energy and the connection between, human, all living things.
Yep.
So very, very interesting, and now you're going to make me go study some more. Thanks, Tim. That was great. I think that, Ruth, are you ready? Would you like to present your piece tonight? Okay.
Ruth, you need to unmute yourself before you start.
Hello? Okay, am I there?
You're good now.
You're good.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'm learning. It's my learning curve, okay? Okay, we're talking about diatomaceous earth tonight. First of all, we're going to define what exactly is diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth is fossilized remains of marine phytoplankton. That means it's broken down remains of diatoms, little organisms from years ago. They're all on the bottom of the ocean, and they can now be mined by humans, by people that go down there and they mine up this diatomaceous earth. There are lots of wonderful things I have to share with you tonight about diatomaceous earth. Some of it you may already know, some of it may be new, but I'm hoping that this will inspire you to go out and start taking diatomaceous earth. First of all, a lot of farmers use diatomaceous earth in their grain bins. It helps kill bugs. That's one of the things it does. It kills fleas, ants, and bed bugs. Any kind of bug that has an exoskeleton, it will kill. But it does so much more. One thing I have to clarify here is that it's not bait. You can't just sprinkle some diatomaceous earth in a corner and all the bugs are going to go to it and die. That's not how it works. You have to put it on the bugs. When it goes on to them, then it begins to break down and they will die. It looks like flour. If you look at flour and diatomaceous earth, you'd say, which one's the diatomaceous earth? You'd have to really look close and get down there. They both have very similar textures. They're very soft and powdery. So you just put it on the bugs. Don't just sprinkle it around and think the bugs are going to just be attracted to it, because that would not work. You could use it with your pets. You could put it in your pet food. Even some farmers put it in the feed for the animals, and it's supposed to kill everything, kill worms, kill little critters, keep their livestock healthy. But there's so much more. Food-grade diatomaceous earth is what we're going to be focusing on tonight. And that has less than 0.1% silica. We're going to focus a lot on silica because that is what diatomaceous earth is made of, silica. Any any food-grade diatomaceous earth that is 0.2% or 0.1 or even up to 0.5% is safe for human consumption, and that would be percent of crystalline silica. There is diatomaceous earth out there that's for pool grade is dangerous for human consumption. Please do not go looking for pool grade diatomaceous earth. So the only warning that's ever been given about it, everybody always wants to know, is this safe? You know, it seems kind of weird. If it's killing bugs, is it going to be harmful for humans? You know, the only thing that's ever been said is don't breathe it. But that would go for any powder. You don't want to breathe flour. You don't want to breathe sawdust. You don't want to breathe diatomaceous earth. Powders are not good for people to breathe. So we're going to go on and talk about how this works. When you look at diatomaceous earth under a microscope, it looks like little cylinders full of holes, a cylinder like a hollow pasta. If you're looking at it under a microscope, it looks like a hollow pasta. So you put a tablespoon or up to a fourth of a cup into a glass of water, you stir it up, and you drink it. It gets into your intestines, and this is what it does. It can absorb and attract fungi, protozoa, viruses, endotoxins, pesticides, drug residues, E. coli, and heavy metals. It gets trapped in the cylinder, and it's passed through the body. Many people just say, I feel better. And that's because it's getting rid of all of the junk that's in our bodies. So say we are not drinking the restructured water, maybe we don't have that available to us. But if you can do the preventative measure of taking this diatomaceous earth, you're doing one thing that will help improve and detoxify your body of substances that are in our water even. So diatomaceous earth is hard. Diamond has a scale of 9 for hardness, and diatomaceous earth is a 7. And you're going, whoa, well, that must be really scratchy, or it must feel like salt when you touch it. No, it's very soft. It's very soft, but it's microscopically hard. So over a period of time, it's going to clean your intestinal walls. They will be completely clean. These are some of the advantages now. It will give you regular bowel movements, a healthy colon, which means it'll keep away polyps, cancers, and ulcers, which everyone's concerned about. It'll increase energy. Your body will need less sleep. All you need is a small amount of this will get absorbed into your bloodstream as silica. Now we're going to focus on silica. Silica has many, many great benefits, and this is one of the main parts of diatomaceous earth. It will help sore joints and ligaments to feel better. It'll clear your skin up. It helps hair and nails be stronger. It helps with teeth and gums, healthier respiratory tract, less coughing. Menopause has less symptoms, and a healthier urinary tract. It is usual for people taking diatomaceous earth to have lowered cholesterol levels by 40 to 50 points. Blood pressures also go down with diatomaceous earth. There's actually a shortage of this silica today, and 1/3 of the silica that your body needs is in the foods that you eat. And the reason why it's so low and we're not getting all of the silica from our foods, natural foods like apples, anything that is or growing like celery, carrots, all of those things should have some silica in them, cucumbers. The problem is the way things are farmed and also the depletion of the soil of nutrients. There's not as many nutrients in our soil today. So one thing that we want to discuss here is how diatomaceous earth cleanses the digestive system. Toxins come into our body and through the lungs, the skin, and the gut, or the intestine. They pass through the liver. Our liver is our filter. That's what our liver does. It's a filter. And it exits through the skin, the kidneys, the colon, and the lungs. Fat-soluble toxins are stored in fat cells, bone marrow, liver, the central nervous system. And water-soluble toxins are stored in joints, blood, tissues, and muscles. So I'm going to ask you to just think for a moment. Think of yourself. Think of anyone else you know, any loved ones. I'm going to give a list here of side effects of toxicity. Anyone who has any side effects of toxicity should be taking diatomaceous earth on a daily basis. These are some of the side effects: acne, skin rashes, allergies, arthritis, autoimmune disorders, cardiovascular disease, chronic fatigue, constipation, diabetes, diarrhea, fibromyalgia, headaches, hormone imbalance, inflammatory disorders, IBS, neurological disorders, obesity, and overweight conditions. Those are all things that come about. There are zero side effects to this wonderful supplement that we can take called food-grade diatomaceous earth. The only thing that's ever been recorded is if you take too much, you can get thirsty. You'll be very thirsty, and you'll be saying, "Give me another glass of water. I'm so thirsty." So here is my methods for taking it. What I do every morning is I just fill up a glass with water, and I put a heaping tablespoon in there, and I stir it up with my Soleil, which we will touch on next week, and I drink that down every morning and awaken all of my organs. That's what I do. They said you could take up to a fourth of a cup. If it's too chalky for you, because it has a very chalky taste, you can start off with a teaspoon or just a little bit, or put it in juice or in your smoothie. Mask it, hide it, whatever you need to do. Everyone needs diatomaceous earth. The other tip that I have for you, it's been recommended by naturopathic doctors to use it to detoxify any produce or any food stuffs that you get from the store. You can take it, anything that's not grown organically, and you soak your vegetables or your fruits or even sometimes meats. I've tried it with meats before too. And you soak your vegetables or fruits in a tub of water with a big scoop, like a fourth of a cup or so, of the diatomaceous earth, and you just mix it up into the water and let it soak between 15 and 30 minutes. And that will pull the toxins out, and you will have clean vegetables and fruits to eat. So now you're not only drinking the diatomaceous earth and having your body healed from the inside out, you're also eating food that is purified. Even if it's not organic, you've done something to better it and make it safer to eat. That is all I have to say about diatomaceous earth, and next week we are going to talk about Soleil. Thank you.
Thanks, Ruth. That was great. And I've got 2 gallons of that up sitting underneath my sink, 2-gallon tubs of diatomaceous earth. I used to take it all the time, and I just got out of the habit. Which habit goals? Is Anthony with us tonight?
No, he is not.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Rick? I don't know if he's there or not.
Oh, okay.
Am I speaking?
Yes, you are. I thought I heard Anthony.
No.
But maybe I didn't.
He has studied on his topic, but he is unsure that the information he found was significant for kids. So we're going to continue working with him and training him on research at this point. I still think that what he found would have been useful for all of us, but that's where we're at with that. And I don't know where Rick is. I've called his name.
I know that Anthony was going to speak about goals, and I know he will continue to research that. He was speaking about goals more in the context of children, for kids on the edge, and goal setting.
Yes.
And really what goal setting is kind of identifying your end point or your point B while you're at point A. And one of the easiest ways to set goals and follow your progress is to actually write your goals down. So I'm actually in the habit of daily goal setting. And what I do is first thing in the morning, well, that's after coffee because I'm a coffee drinker. After coffee, I sit down and I write the things that I have to do on one side of the paper. And things that I have to do are appointments, whether it's an appointment, with a doctor or picking my son up from school on time, whatever. I write down, those are the have-tos. They are necessary. And then I write down the things that I would like to accomplish in a day. Those type of things might be work so long on this particular website or that particular website. Maybe I want to do some sewing. How long am I going to do sewing, and what do I expect to accomplish during that time of sewing, etc. And then I kind of take a highlighter as I go through the day, and as I accomplish something, I write it off the list. For the kids, we want them to set goals, and still the writing of the goals is important. It's got to be something that they want. What would they want to earn? If they had to read 10 pages a day, then that goes on a daily list. But what is the result of reading those 10 pages a day? Well, in the case of Kids on the Edge, it's earning points. So if they read those 10 pages a day, they're going to earn X amount of points, and those points will add up to being able to be redeemed for something that they really want. So now we've attached their goal of earning a certain thing to, if you do this, you'll earn the points that will get you to point B. So from point A, reading, to point B, what you want to do most. And goals are nothing more than setting habits. So you want to set a habit for yourself. So in my case, I set the habit of writing my goals for the day. But they also have longer-term goals. Those can be your dreams, your aspirations. It could be when you're going to have your Love Chapter office do this, or funding to be able to do that, or your aquaponics, or your really anything. And if you just write them down, and that becomes your point B, and then following your goals on a daily basis gets you to point B. If you don't set goals, you just kind of go through the day haphazardly. And some people go through the day so haphazardly that you wonder what they're thinking, because they might sit down and watch TV for 4, 5, 6 hours a day, and then they do nothing. And to me, and of course it's my opinion, I'm going to be careful here, it's my opinion that, is that life worth living? I mean, are you just waiting until you check out? We all need goals. And if you're not in the habit of setting any kind of a goal, then you're not really living your life. So anyway, with that, I will close on that segment, and I will let Anthony, when he is ready, take care of it for Kids on the Edge. It's just a little fill-in piece about goals and how I apply goals. And so if anybody else has anything to add, to say?
No. It sounded good.
Okay. Tim, would you like to close
Trinity.
us?
Sorry, this is Rick. I was just going to let you know that I was back in case you needed me.
We did earlier.
Excuse me. Gotta take some more diatomaceous earth. I just coughed. Okay, well, Jim, do you want to close us in prayer?
Yes, I can.
Thank you so much.
Dear Lord, we come this evening. We thank you for bringing the messages on the water, on life, on healing. And we thank you for the many ways in which you have brought the earth to be in harmony with us, the man on earth. And we thank you for a lot of these blessings. In your name, we pray. Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.